And we're live Friday afternoon. Thought I'd pop in here and see if I can answer some questions before we go into the weekend. How's everyone's week been? How's everyone doing with their job search or maybe a quest to leave their current employer? Go ahead, post some questions in the comments. And just while we're waiting, I ran some stuff through ChatGPT. So maybe we'll take some questions from AI first. Artificial intelligence. Maybe I'll just call him Artie. Okay, question from Artie. That sounds good. All right. Let's see. Okay. Artie asked, do you have any tips for networking effectively to expand my job search opportunities? I've said this many times before. People on LinkedIn are getting inundated with requests to pick your brain or coffee chats. Can I have some of your time for free? And not getting good results. And because people are busy, only have so much time in the day. I think the best piece of advice I could tell you for networking is reciprocity. If you must reach out to someone for a cold messaging, make a point of saying, people come to me for advice about A, B, C. I'm happy to give my take if you have a problem like that. And I'm looking to talk to people who can help me with this problem. And you'll likely get better results. Although in terms of networking for job search, an introduction is always better for direct contact, or it's someone that you've been talking to, say in the social media group. But that's answer to Artie's first question. All right. Anyone else out there? I was at my barbecue for my co-working space yesterday. And of course, we get into talking shop and just what we do with our individual businesses. And I got asked if I'd noticed really a difference pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic in terms of the reasons why people are leaving their jobs. I don't know if I'd say there's an or reason for the Great Resignation. I don't know if the reasoning has necessarily changed. It's a lot more obvious, and a lot more people are coming to that realization. Just that conditions aren't ideal, and they actually do not have to tolerate a toxic workplace. They do have better options available, and they're making their exit. Okay. Oh, a question from Asif. How to communicate? Okay, how to communicate in what way? When out and about networking, in a job interview, approaching prospects? A little more context would help. But each of that is its own subcategory in terms of communication. But a good starting point is to know your expertise, know what people compliment you on or what they come to you for advice about. And so if you're out at a networking event, be able to say, I'm in my workplace, I'm usually the go-to person for this thing, even if it's not in your official job description. It just paints a better picture of how you're seen and what role you naturally occupy. Question from Kritika. Are you seeing more demand from employers for certain skills this year? If so, what might those be? Looks like data analytics and digital marketing are relevant for the Canadian job market. I'm more inclined to say they're always in demand for people who can bring them in, ensure there more money's coming in or more clients are coming in to keep the business going, and the data to back up exactly how the money is coming and going. I mean, certainly look at the trends, but I wouldn't say be mindful of them. But I wouldn't say pursue a certain field because that's always be mindful of what you're naturally good at or what you gravitate to. Certain skills and client service is timeless for employers. No clients, no business. And so if you have that skill, and then Yeah, no, data analytics is simply is on the rise as well. Kritika, are you asking because you're already in the field or you're thinking of one of those particular fields? Yeah, I currently have a client who's looking at data science positions, and looks like interesting work. Okay, I guess that's it for that. Okay, any further information from Asif or? Okay, we can go back to Artie's list of questions. For those late coming, that's my nickname for artificial intelligence or chat GPT. We're calling him Artie here. All right. What should I include in my cover letter to make it compelling and relevant to the job I'm applying for? Never make your cover letter too long, never more than 250 or 300 words. And don't regurgitate your resume, like generalized statements like I have this much experience here. I've specialized here. But yeah, never make it too long, because I'm a former recruiter. I almost never read them. And that's the case for a lot of hiring managers, although they're still asking for them. I don't know why. I suspect each thinks the other department's reading them, when in the meantime, nobody is. Okay, Kritika, I'm a communication and public relations professional, not having much luck with applying for new roles with my current client servicing skills. Okay, that depends where you're applying, and so, I mean, yeah, indeed, good chance you're getting lost in the shuffle. And I mean, some of the ATS software, I mean, there's stories all over LinkedIn about the most qualified of applicants getting rejected instantly, almost within 2 minutes of them submitting their application. So yeah, it's quite an interesting job market. Kritika, when you went to school for communications, or even afterwards in your field, are you a member of any professional associations for either of those things? I know they do exist. Have you looked into any? That's a good thing to look into for any field. Sometimes not even, well, they will have like standard social media groups and even in-person events for just straight networking, but there's also professional associations for communications, for human resources, for sales. Always look for the official group on social media, but look into connecting with people. They look into even attending their events. Most of them, they will let you attend. Oftentimes it's not that much to attend. If they're meeting in a restaurant or something, like $25, you can go usually once or twice without being a member, or you can hit up a member and say, hey, can I come and be your guest? And sometimes the guest pass is cheaper than the actual admission. So there's ways to network with people there that are actually in the know, and that can be good inroads. So if you get into official, for instance, if you're in official social media groups or associations for communications and public relations, you can start asking questions like, okay, I specialize here, who's hiring, or any suggestions about who I should talk to. For the Society of Professional Journalists and University, and currently part of the Canadian Public Relations Society Network. Okay, definitely see what they have available on social media, and even revisit the Society of Professional Journalists and university. I mean, don't forget your university alumni list. Networking's all about finding common ground. There are alumni groups on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Start posting in there and say, hey, I'm really frustrated. I'm a communications person. I'm having no results. Who's hiring? And alumni, they'll often look after their own. So start poking around there, and yeah, start where you already have some common ground and an instant conversation starter. Glad I could help. Anyone else? Yeah, even Forbes wrote an article very recently, like don't dismiss your alumni groups. And I wrote an article ages ago, actually, for the accountants of Chartered Accountants of India, the Toronto chapter. I was asked to write an article for their, I think it was a 2019 magazine. And that's basically what I said in the article too. Like, even if you went to university outside of Canada, you'd be shocked where you'd find alumni groups on social media. So, I mean, just start poking around there and just start reaching out to people. Say, okay, where are you now? And then if you wound up in the same country, like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, who do you know? Are they hiring? Where else do you suggest? You're welcome, Kritika. I hope I'm saying your name right. Okay. Anyone else? I should find the link for that art. And actually, it's a link for the magazine, I think, which is why I've never put it in my featured section. I should go dig that out. Or even send people the screenshot. Okay. Anyone else? What would you like to talk about? Oh, it seems Artie has another question. Okay. What would you like to know, Artie? Are there specific job search platforms or websites you recommend using? If you happen to know some that are specific to your industry or to your field, definitely make use of those. One thing, I'm in Toronto. One thing I do, I'm a member of a co-working space, and that has its own job board, and also the member businesses will post on the community board. So I actually share that link a lot because there's always a very wide variety of things are on there. Another innovation hub in town is Mars Discovery District, and their community job board is just huge. It's often a lot of IT stuff, but very an interesting mix and can sometimes be seen there. So I refer people to that one a lot as well. So yeah, definitely check out any innovation hubs or co-working spaces in your city and see if they have a community job board. Because often those are getting less traffic than, say, Indeed and Workopolis, and yeah, you might find some great opportunities. All right, I should keep track of which ones I've been. Did that one? Okay. Any other questions? I did that one. Okay, let's take another question from Artie. Can you provide guidance on transitioning to a new career or industry? There's a lot to elaborate on that question, but in a nutshell, usually the first thing I wind up telling a prospect or eventually a client is you've been in the workforce for more than, say, 10 years, you are not starting from scratch. There will always be things that you picked up in university, even if you're changing fields, things in your previous work experience that you can bring forward into your new career. I mean, it might be whether it's people skills, client service, or just overall problem solving. We all niche without intending to, and often where you've unintentionally niched is your ticket to getting your foot in the door for your new role. And so that it makes for some really interesting conversations and a lot of light bulb moments with my clients who just, I mean, as we all do, we don't always take it seriously if it's our own skill or just something that's like breathing for us, and just like, oh, strange, people come to me for this advice regardless of whatever role I'm in. And that's my main answer to that question in this brief period of time, because there's so much more to cover for that. But no, you're not starting from scratch. And I guess the other thing was you don't always need to go back to school to change careers either. I actually talk more people out of training than into it. So if I have a client that says, oh, I need to go back to school for that, I really grill them and say, okay, go to school for what? For what purpose? What will that allow you to do after the fact that you can't do now? Are you absolutely sure that you need to go back to school for 3 to 4 years, and that there will be work available for that. Or there are other things you can do now. Get everything down to brass tacks. What do I really need to know right now? Where's the best place for me to learn it? Do you really need to pay for training, or can you learn from a YouTube video? And can you, in the case of entrepreneurship, can you learn the bare basics yourself, and can you outsource it to an assistant or what have you? But okay, looks like it's pretty quiet here. Sometimes Fridays can be kind of hit and miss, but give it a few more minutes, or I have a lawnmower in the background. Maybe I should wrap this up in a second or two. But thank you for your questions. All right, let's do one more question from Artie, and then we'll wrap this up for the weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. All right. How do I create an impressive online presence and personal brand to enhance my job search? I'd say take another look at your LinkedIn profile. Even when people reach out to me, I'm forever telling them that headline needs to be edited, or it doesn't really paint a picture of your area of expertise. And I have a lawnmower in the background, so I'm going to wrap this up in a sec. The other thing I would say is get feedback on your profile. Always ask a friend to read it, or even give it the 10-second scan and say, okay, where would you put me? Get other feedback on that, because so many times job seekers think they're saying one thing when in fact they're they're bombarding the reader with too much information, and the 10-second scan, which is a real thing, they're not picking up on what they should be picking up on. Okay, that lawnmower is getting rather loud. I could shut the window, but since we're quiet, I think I'm going to wrap this up. But thank you for everyone who asked questions. And I will be in here again next week. I'm going to try and come in Monday. We'll see if it's Monday or Tuesday. But anyways, everybody enjoy your weekend, and see you guys next week.